real men that are successful women, they're not paying for everything. Matter of fact, they're not paying for the majority of the things, because women, they're so into these men that they're willing to pay for their time. Or at least that's what the claim is. What's up, Team YouTube? I'm live from Phoenix, Arizona, currently walking to the dispensary. Yeah, I thought, I'd just get a little practice being outside talking on the phone. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just reflecting on my trip and what has occurred so far. And I'm just kind of feeling like, there's really a difference. When you treat somebody like your brother, now I'm wondering, like, if the term your brother and your sister is deeper than just family relations. Just because, like, me personally, the way I feel about my brothers and sisters, it really does, like, I might coach them on how to live better, but at the same time, I'm not letting anything come between.
Turn left onto East Roosevelt Street.
It's like, because why would I? All this shit is minuscule. And we should really, like, I'm willing to work out most things with most people, but I'm always willing to work out shit with my brothers and my sister. So you can't really be like, oh, this person is can't really be like, oh, this person is family, because there's levels to this shit. I'll cut off my whole family from my brother and my sister, but I won't cut off my brother and my sister from my family. And a lot of times we ain't even related by blood, but when you come from a blended family, certain things strike you as more important than others. Certain things like blood being thicker than water. But at the same time, I understand as my siblings get into relationships, you have to give them a certain amount of distance, to operate. But for the most part, I just think that if you really rock with someone, it should take a lot in order for you to stop rocking with them. And that's even more so true if that's your brother or your sister. Because why the fuck would you let some random ass bitch or some random ass nigga come between you and your siblings? If anything, they can get the fuck out of my face. Especially if I see them trying to manipulate a situation and turn me against my brother and my sister. Why? Because I don't really I like women, but at the same time, I know who's really gonna be there for me in my corner when shit hits the fan. And sometimes you just gotta be willing to take a look at what is required for you to risk your life to go to prison or end up dead. And I don't put too much thought about it when it's my brother and my sister. I would think the same thing, But if that's not how you feel about your brother and sister, even if y'all related, I probably wouldn't even call them your brother or your sister. That's just me personally, though. And the worst part is I told his ass I was gonna post this shit on the internet, so you can't act surprised. And plus this shit's right up my alley, The whole travel meets high value men. And then on top of that, the thing about me, if you're gonna be a passport bro, I don't think he was necessarily a passport bro, just because I haven't heard of, I'm sure if he was leaving the country, I would know about it, you know what I mean? But maybe not. But also, if I'm leaving the country, I'm not taking any, below average women anyway. Why? Because you can find cheap above average women there. So the market value for women just isn't the same. But at the same time, you can easily triple the trip cost. So either they were paying for him to go, which that's what a lot of y'all don't understand about high value men or real men that are successful women, they're not paying for everything. Matter of fact, they're not paying for the majority of the things, because women, they're so into these men that they're willing to pay for their time. Or at least that's what the claim is. And, I've seen it before on lower levels, but for the most part, I think I think there is some truth to that. It's like, why would I spend time with you for free? But then you also have to think about what kind of impact that has on your relationships and your sex life. Because if all of a sudden you are only having sex or fucking with people because of what they can provide you with, when you start fucking with people only and they can't provide you with anything, you know, there's gonna be less of a dopamine release. There's gonna be less incentive. But I personally believe that in relationships, that you gotta pour into people even if they can't pour back into you, because sometimes these people that require being poured into, they don't realize that someone is draining them dry. So it's almost like you have to hear them out, you have to provide an ear to them, because if you don't, that's just something, they feel unheard. They feel like they don't have any other option. So, you know, that's when ultimatums and crossings and things that can really impact one's relationship. Like me personally, I don't do ultimatums, I don't do expectations, because it's like, for what? We're all human beings. I expect you to change over time. Live, let live. But also sometimes it takes that outside perspective to really understand, like, okay, I'm not going crazy. Like, and a lot of the time, this is what people don't understand with stories. I'm more likely to believe everything is true as opposed to one side of the story being true and one side of the story being fake. Because any way you look at it, anytime someone tries to explain a story to you, they're explaining, not only are they explaining it from their perspective, which will automatically cause bias, but also they're gonna want to try to prove their side. Especially when they're like, oh, what did you hear? Why do you want to know what I heard? And I guess my other thing is, if you're the patriarch, then you should really be able to, well, I think it'll help you in your quest for family dominance if you, for example, learn how to communicate with people. It's not just about sugarcoating shit. It's more so about all right, y'all, we're gonna be doing a little taste testing today. So currently I'll be partaking in this is, what is this? Oh no, it's a hybrid of some sort. It's Cushmint mixed with Durban. So I'd say so far the taste. But yeah, so really just to touch back on what we were already discussing. When someone asks you why you love them, if the only reasons that you can think of why you would love a person and makes them your true love is what they can do for you, you really should examine why you love that person. Because I don't really think you love that person. I think you just love that person because of what they can do for you. So pretty much it's certain things like this that just gives away the whole entire game. It's like, why the fuck would you name, like, oh, I love what you can do for me? Like, that's not really You know, it's not anything specific to them. I think this really stems from just expecting sex from women. You don't even care about the other intangibles that they can provide. It's all sex-based. Me personally, that's the least that you can do for me is have sex with me. But when you use words like "I need sex," then that implies that you need a woman. I think no man should technically need a woman, especially if the only thing that you want is sex. But there's plenty of ways you can get sex that doesn't involve you being in a relationship with women or forcing a permanent relationship on a person based on temporary circumstances. But also, like, how could you always be in the mindset of I want the horny mindset, you know? Like, bro, you horny, you're there, even though bitches were out.